A few years ago, one of my friends who did calligraphy made this. Is that in the shot? Can we see that? Truth and Courage. And he also did this one. I want to see if we can get this one in the shot. I want to read this. Can we see that? I'm going to read it to you. We'll put it up on the screen. It's from the book of Hosea. It says, "The days of punishment are coming. The days of reckoning are at hand. Let Israel know this. Because your sins are so many and your hostility so great, the prophet is considered a fool. The inspired man, a maniac. The prophet, along with my God, is the watchman over Ephraim, yet snares await him on all his paths, and hostility in the house of his God." People going to the temple, hostility. They're going to the temple and they're meeting the prophet, the one who's speaking God's words. They're meeting him with hostility. The prophet is considered the fool. The inspired man is the maniac. And God said to Israel at that time, judgment is coming. The days of reckoning are coming because your hostility is so great. We're experiencing a similar time in America right now. And I want to speak directly to you today and ask you some fairly direct questions about the church, about truth, right and wrong, good and evil, and truth and courage. How do we line up publicly with the truth? It takes very little, if any, courage to believe something in our heart. The issue is, what do we say when we're with family, with friends, in our church? What do we say with coworkers? What do we say in the public square? What do we say to enemies? The prophet is considered a fool. The person speaking the truth is considered a maniac. That's how great the hostility has become today. It'd be very hard for you to have not seen some of the news coming out of Indiana and the reverberations all over the country as some of the left-wing media has tried to drag Republican presidential candidates into the debate over same-gender matrimony. I try and use code language on this show because I know that some of you have kids that are watching. I think that for today's show, right now, I need to encourage you. Hit pause, hit your TiVo or whatever the thing is called, send the kids out of the room because I need to be able to speak to you very clearly about things that are probably not appropriate for young ears, okay? Do you care if someone goes to hell? Do you care if one of your loved ones goes to hell? Do you care if neighbors go to hell? Strangers. In other words, what is your love of your fellow creature? Your fellow human creature. And I start with that as a beginning point in today's discussion. Because there are a lot of people in the Christian community who have confused mercy and love with some tawdry, cheap imitation that really would amount to a level of hatred, a level of indifference. If you knew that certain sins were going to drag someone into the very jaws of hell and that they would spend eternity in the lake of fire, do you care enough to warn them? Do you care enough to warn them? Or do you say, well, I love them and I want to show mercy to them? Well, wouldn't mercy be being warned about eternal judgment? Now, the reason I'm starting with this, and I've got to take a break, is because the compromise and the treachery in the religious right in particular and in the conservative right, especially in the political realm in general, is so great that I want to paint a real picture today that jars people back into reality. Because 20 or 25 years ago, if we'd have been having this fight publicly, And Jerry Falwell was on the scene, or I was in my era where I could be talking, getting Dan Rather to interview me, or Connie Chung, or any of these people, the debate would be very different right now. Where are the Jerry Falwells? Where are the Cardinal O'Connors? Where are the D. James Kennedys? Where are the voices in the Christian community that will stand up and say, this behavior is an abominable sin which will drag the souls to hell who practice it? I'm going to read the scriptures when we come back. Now, here's a question for you. Are we wiser than God? Here's another one. Are we more compassionate than God? Or does God need to change with the times? Or is this just an Old Testament problem? Yeah, that's the question we'll look at when we come back. This is just an Old Testament problem, right? Who needs Leviticus anyway?
Hey, everyone's been asking me, when's Unstoppable coming out on DVD? Well, it's here. And I have created my own deluxe signature version of Unstoppable that contains not only the movie, but over 5 hours of additional curriculum and study guides for your family. It's perfect for your homeschool, educational facility, small group Bible study, and family devotions. And I'm going to share with you some of the spiritual warfare that surrounded the release of this film. This box set also includes extended scenes, new music videos, the inside scoop on the whole Facebook controversy. So what are you waiting for? I made this special version with my family in mind, and I know your family will be blessed by it too. Unstoppable 2.0 Deluxe Signature Version, available only here at kurtcameron.com. I can't wait for you to experience what's inside.